What is up, everyone? It's Paul, the MMA Shark here. I'm here tonight to talk about Saturday's UFC Fight Night 60 going down at the Apex in Vegas. We've got a pivotal main event between Corey Sandhagen and Sandhagen. But on top of that, it's a 14-fight absolute banger of a card. This, in my personal opinion, is one of the best matched UFC cards of the second half of the year. Maybe out of the last 12 cards, I think this is one of the best matched cards of the year. And when cards are well matched, they're well capped by myself. I excel on these fights. Those that have been with me know that close, even money fights, the pick'em, the minus 125, minus 135, plus 10 comeback fights, they're really been my niche. So the smaller edge on them always goes in our favor. I love this card. I love the fact that we have 14 fights on this card. Pending any issues at weigh-ins tomorrow, we're going to have 14 fights. And I want to talk about a few. I want to talk about some promotions we're doing right now. And I want to talk about one free play that I'm going to toss out to you guys. So stick around and watch this in its entirety. And I've got one free play that I'm going to drop. And my confidence in this play has grown all week, and the line somehow is swinging in our favor. So pretty interesting. Personally, I'm a Pennsylvania guy, and I'm a huge fan of Pennsylvania mixed martial arts since I have promoted mixed martial arts in Pennsylvania. And because of that, I've got a lot of friends on this card, and that won't come into play when I make my decision, when I cap the fight. I have no issue going against a friend or a local fighter. Friendship's friendship, business is business. Friends I have on this card, one is Tony Gravely. He was my bantamweight champion for PA Cage Fight. One of the nicest kids you'd ever meet. Appalachian State wrestler. His dad, Harold, his wife. They're such a nice family. He's a complete gentleman. He's got a tough test at hands on Saturday. He's fighting Javid Basharat. Anyone that followed my picks on Tuesday night know that I had his brother, Farid Basharat, in a massive play to win the main event on Dana White's Contender Series. And not only did Farid win that fight, but my God, he dominated. Strikes for like 170 to 45. He had 2 10-8 rounds. The Basharites have never lost. So you've got the more experience with Tony Gravely, and I am one of the few that pronounce it correct. It's not Gravely, it is Gravely. I've had dinner with Tony. He's, like I said, a very good personal friend of mine. He left Tech MMA in Virginia, went to ATT. I love the guys at Tech MMA. Perry Gibson, Allison, great crew there. I think he made that move to work on his wrestling with some better teammates, some tougher teammates, a bigger school. But Tony's a real deal, but so are the Basharites. So that's going to be a hell of a fight. Another Pennsylvania fighter on this card that I'm pretty tight with, that I've been following since he was an amateur, is Pat Sabatini. Philadelphia fighters have been cashing tickets. Looking back on Pat Sabatini, I feel that his last 18 fights he should have won. He fought Jose Mariscal on a regional show back in 2016. He dominated the fight. It wasn't even close. He got screwed on a split decision, a hometown cooking loss. Everybody knows Pat won that fight. And then he ended up losing a CFFC or Ring of Combat fight to James Gonzalez, where he actually went to posture down and broke his arm a few seconds into the fight. James Gonzalez is a tough kid, just cashed as a plus 500 underdog, which we were on a Bellator prelim, but he's not Pat Sabatini. But he's going against Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson's only loss in the UFC has been to Ilia Topuria, and everyone is getting finished by Ilia Topuria. So that's a big fight to have on your resume, and that's a fight that he didn't lose any motive on. It didn't hurt his stock by any means. So Sabatini and Jackson, I think, is going to be one of the fights of the night. Another one that I'm very tight with is Bill Algeo, representing King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. In fact, if you scroll through my Facebook, he just posted a shout out for us. He loves the MMA Shark. We love him. I've never lost on a Bill Algeo fight. He's fighting Andre Touchy Feely. Really, the odds makers have this fight pretty much a pick'em. Feely's minus 125. Bill Algeo's coming back at 105. I'm going to have a really large play on this fight. I've had a solid lean on this fight now for about a month, so I'm really pumped about that fight. I think there's a lot of action that is going to happen on that fight, and I think we might have a cash 'em all on that fight. The method, the over/under, and the fighter. I may even have some parlays tied into a couple of these fights. Sign up, www.themmashark.com. Put in promo code BANANAS25. Not only are we celebrating our 6th month since we've launched, we're celebrating a new partnership with Fight Bananas, and they have been awesome to work with so far, and I look forward to the future with them. So if you use that code BANANAS25, it takes your first month down to just over $80. And you're going to get like 130 plays in the next 30 days. That doesn't just cover you to the end of September. That will give you the full 30 days. So year to date, I'm plus 350 plus 2 units. I've been around gambling a while. I see other handicappers. There's some phenomenal handicappers that I'm very tight with. And they do great. I mean, some do great. Some hit cold streaks. I personally had a cold streak August 20th. UFC 278, I'm not going to hide it. It was a losing night. And I'm not saying that I don't have losing nights or losing cards, but we fired back since. There's been 3 contender series and 2 fight nights and a pay-per-view since that card, and we're 6-0. So we're just completely racking up the winning nights. www.themmashark.com. And I don't just have regular clients and casual MMA fans on there. UFC fighters subscribe to this. Like, UFC fighters are cashing on the fights. There's plenty of UFC fighters that have spoken on behalf of the MMA Shark. And, you can find those videos at www.themmashark.com. Back to the fights. Another one making his UFC debut is, as Dana White would say, B. Joe Pyfer. You want to be in the UFC? Be Joe Pyfer. Well, Joe Pyfer is on the main card for his first UFC fight. Very chalky, though. He's coming in right now at minus 460. Joe's tough. He hits with bricks in his hands. Minus 460 on the main card. Somewhat of a padded record. He didn't fight a lot of quality guys. We'll see which way I go on that fight. I think Pyfer's the real deal. I just don't think anyone should be a minus 460 favorite in your UFC debut on the main card. But, Dana White's high on this kid. I think, like I said, you get hit by Joe Pyfer, you're going to sleep. So, and he's got great jiu-jitsu and wrestling to back that up. So, definitely a big up-and-comer in the middleweight division. Co-main event is stacked. Oh my God, we got Chidi Njoku versus Gregory Rodriguez. That fight, right now we have Chidi minus 125 with a comeback on Rodriguez at plus 105. Another one close to call. Aspen Ladd's back to action on this card. Aspen Ladd, if you're not familiar, she started her career undefeated. She was mowing through people. Little early stoppage versus Jermaine Durandamine. And her career's kind of been 500 since that. So we'll have to see how that fight goes, fighting a very experienced Sarah McCann. All in all, 14 fights this Saturday. That's just one card. Use the code BANANAS25. You're in with me for the next 30 days. Your subscription would then renew at regular rate. You can cancel anytime. I charge $109 a month. I'm worth a lot more than that. I don't just put out UFC. I put out UFC, Bellator, PFL, LFA, Dana White's Contender Series. By the way, Yanni's hitting that at like 2%. I'm hitting it over 75%. So you're also getting Cage Warriors. You're getting LFA. I even throw boxing plays out there. The big Canelo GGG fight Saturday night. I'm going to have a play on that. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. The fight, this card starts at 4 o'clock. It's going to end by probably 10. Then we're going to switch over to boxing. Have some main card plays on boxing. GGG versus Canelo 3. My side's made up. And then, of course, we have the main event. We've got Corey Sandhagen, who's almost impossible to finish, fighting Sandhagen, who is a complete finisher. So this is a tale of two styles. It's one of the best match-made main events the UFC's had in the last month or two. I know who I'm going with on it. The one way to find out who we're going to cash with is by signing up, if you're not already. I'm waiting for a couple things tomorrow on that fight to come into play. But a free lean on that, we're going to have a lot of rounds in that fight without giving away any information. There's going to be a lot of rounds in that fight. So I mentioned a free play. I'm going to give out a free play. Thanks for watching this. Check us out at www.themmashark.com. Like it says behind me, the world's #1 MMA handicapper. I can only tell you so much. The rest I can show you. So check it out. Use code BANANAS25. Save 25% off your first month. And the free play I'm going with, this was minus 160 earlier in the week. I released it at minus 150 on Monday. It's now down to minus 130. It's going in the wrong direction for no reason at all. The free play of the day is on the prelims, and that's going to be Jillian Robertson to get the win. So Jillian Robertson, minus 135 right now, is the biggest value I see on the early prelims, and that's going to be our free play. So thanks for watching. I look forward to doing more, and I hope we can all cash some tickets together this Saturday. Let's get it.